What's up, guys? This is Ekolimits, and I'm just talking about a few things that just came up in my mind. Recently, there's a new post on Battlelog, and it's talking about answering your questions on Battlefield 4 Spring Update. And I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 4, and I've been also playing a lot of Battlefield Hardline since I kind of didn't like what the patch kind of brought to the table. So let's go through the list of what they have to say, and I'll let you guys know how I feel about it, and we'll see what happens at the end. So the first question that comes up is, how come roof access ladders were removed from some infantry game modes? And I've noticed a lot of the game modes like TDM have removed a rooftop access, and that's great because, you know, this time people are not camping up there, and the kills are not really cheaply gotten. You really have to just challenge people. So I think it's a great change that's much needed, and it improves, and their answer is quite well worded. They're saying, we are currently monitoring how the maps and modes play at the moment, and these changes affect the gameplay and flow of these infantry focused modes, so keep your feedback coming. So they're listening to us, and overall I think still it's a good change for the battlefield. And I've noticed in Gunmaster, those staircases and ladders and whatever access, rooftop access, has been removed as well. And that's the game when I play. I'm not a big TDM guy. Alright, so the second question is, how come some details were missing from the spring patch notes? The biggest detail that they missed was the SRAW changes, and they apologize for it and everything else, and they just basically say, you know, in a future patch notes, we're going to do a better job. And if you're going to release something, Battlefield's infamous for doing that. They don't always tell you exactly what's changed, and then you got these synthic guys and people just looking straight through it and finding all the problems with it. And I would like them to just be more upfront, not just on what they do on client side. Be more upfront also what you do in server side, because there's so much going on that maybe they're not letting us know. And just as a experienced player and player who's played thousands of hours of this game, especially Battlefield 4, I can tell the difference. Something feels different, and the guns start feeling different and all that other stuff, but we're gonna get to the guns in a minute. So this next thing that they changed up is what's up with the UCAV and mortar deploy time. They're trying to balance that UCAV out. I think they should just eliminate that. That was a bad decision. It's just too easy. I know it's hard to get, but it's too easy to use. And why not? Why not always deploy and be certain that you will get that one kill? Mortars, I use them effectively. They can be cheap, and the only thing I don't like about the mortars is why when you die by the mortar, it doesn't say that you died by the mortar. Instead, it just says UMP 45 killed you, or you got hit by a bus, you know? Come on, guys. Let's just make sure that servers understand that you've been killed by a mortar, and then, you know, you get that kill confirmation, and you don't have to look at like, why was I killed in action, or all this other stuff. Come on, let's get the mortars right. Next question comes up, how come the visuals on the tracer rounds are very prominent? Yeah, that bugs me too a little bit. The visuals are too much, even when you're looking at people in firefights, like say in front of you and going exactly perpendicular to you, and you just see a bunch of bullets whizzing past. And I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of that. I wouldn't mind it in Battlefront with the light guns. You know, you're shooting the energy bullets, but not in a real shooting game. You know, let's keep that out. How come kit-specific perk / loadouts reset? That's always been a problem. I don't know why they can't figure that out. They just kind of go on to say that use the in-game loadout menus, which should work perfectly per faction. Come on, guys, that's not a solution. Rarely even a band-aid for a solution. Next one's the big one. They just sneak it right in the middle, but sure. How come we are still seeing quote-unquote netcode issues? I like what they did there with the quotes. And they go on to explain, I'm going to say this word for word because I find it quite interesting. We are seeing server performance issues on some platforms in some regions and are working on a solution with a server patch release in the future. If you experience this issue, please try to find another server. Holy hell, what kind of an answer is that? Find another server? What if the server issue that I'm experiencing is in my own paid server, guys? What then? Don't tell me to go find another server, man, because I paid for that thing. And I was just huge after the patch, the spring patch, just, you know, shooting someone, not getting hits when I thought that I would definitely get hits. Either the bullets are just disappearing, or my aim is all of a sudden the guns. I know they've changed up the guns, but all of a sudden the guns are just inaccurate as hell. It's just frustrating when you see that, and then you get killed behind corners, like really deep behind corners. and it just feels to me that when I walk into a doorway, it's like I walk into that doorway, yet the guy on the other screen has seen me do it for about a second already. And 1 second in Battlefield is quite a lot. You know, if you don't have crisp, 0 netcode smoothing factor crispness, the other guy's just gonna get the jump on you just because you peeked out. It's weird. Like, I'll peek and I'll go back in. You know, it's one of those things you do. You go back and forth in maybe a doorway because you're trying to utilize the cover to shoot someone, take the advantage. And as I peeked back in, I died because on his screen I was still out for God knows how long, and he was just like, well, what's this fool doing here? Shot me, you know. So the whole netcode thing, they're just saying they're gonna release a server patch. I'm hoping, praying to God right now, that it's gonna work. Please, guys, please, you can do it. It's my favorite game. Why has my favorite weapon been changed so much? So here's what they say. We are fairly happy with the weapon balance at this point, but we are always open to feedback. We suggest trying all the weapons and providing your feedback on the forums. My biggest gripe about the weapons is just make them accurate, please. Make them accurate. They're way too inaccurate, to the point where it's unrealistic. Most of these guns are not this inaccurate as they are in the game, as it happens to be right now. It's either that inaccuracy or like what I mentioned prior to this. Maybe it's just bullets being lost somewhere in the whole mess of things. Why has zeroing distance been changed? That's their whole problem with head glitchers, and I think they just went around a little bit wrong how to address head glitching, shooting out of the gun itself. It's a little confusing. People pick up the game and they're trying to line up and use cover, and all of a sudden they're actually hitting the cover in front of them, and they don't really understand that they're too close. And there's no little pop-up that explains that, hey bro, back up a little bit because you're too close, you know. Instead, the guy's dumping bullets and seeing like little flashes in front of him. He doesn't even understand that the bullets are not actually going past. They're actually just staying there. It's very confusing, and Battlefield rarely does a good job explaining the game modes and game itself. It's a problem. It's been a problem for a long time. My solution would have been just make interesting map design choices. You're not ever going to totally eliminate head glitching, because you can do it on like staircases and all that as you gradually go up and things like that, but you can limit the areas where you create head glitching positions. There's so many green boxes stacked all around the place in Battlefield 4 that are exactly perfectly lined up for a head glitch. You guys know what green boxes I'm talking about, you know? You just go straight up to them and you literally see the guy's nose and his eyes, and obviously the bullets used to fly out the nose and eyes in Battlefield 4, and that was just it, you know? I don't understand it. Alright, next up. How come the Bears' leg seems so weak? I'm not inclined to use it. It sucks. It sucks, and they agreed, and they're like, we're trying not to make it OP, and we accidentally nerfed it to oblivion. So big changes coming to that gun, and that'll be great because I stopped playing it. I love to get dog tag mastery in just about every weapon in this game, and I just gave up on that one. I was like, nah, they gotta do something with this. This is bad. And next up, why have all air weapons been changed? And they just felt like they were trying to balance out the conquest a little bit more, so they nerfed a little bit stuff. But they're watching, and they're continuing to look at your feedback to optimize it further and make the game all that much better. I agree with that. You know, you can test something and see what sticks. You know, like it's not easy to balance a game so complex as Battlefield 4, yet they're trying. So one thing I like about this is I love this game. They changed it up. Things sometimes don't work out well, but above all, I gotta say, thanks for keeping us updated. Thanks for keeping the changes coming, especially the good ones. The bad ones, you know, let's weed them out. And you know, I'm looking forward to it. Let's keep this game alive, because Battlefield 4 is definitely my most favorite Battlefield to date. What do you guys think? If you like this little commentary, let me know what your ideas are about fixing the game, because we can maybe band together. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe here, and don't forget to check out my Twitch page, and I'll see you guys next time.